You ain't gonna believe this. This kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and thank you for clicking on the video. I am so happy to finally be testing Hydroid's Rework. If you've been following me, specifically on my community tab, you know how excited I've been about this rework. And my hype is at an all-time high because after testing it, it's even better than I thought it was going to be. I've got some gameplay here just to show you real quick, just to see, you know, what you can expect with this build and this newly buffed frame. Look at that! Oh my god, dude.
Pretty crazy.
Look at the damage numbers. Oh my god.
That's still path too.
That's Steel Path. So let's talk about Hydroid's rework and how the abilities change. So for his passive, it's completely different now. It's no longer that ground slam, spawn a tentacle, just terrible. It is now completely revolves around corrosive, and so when you deal corrosive damage to enemies, you're going to reduce their armor a lot easier than you would take to normally do it with like a couple corrosive stacks. It's just initial 50% reduction, absolutely huge. His Tempest Barrage got more of a quality of life update where it's no longer a hold cast, it's automatically max range, and instead of impact, it is now corrosive. Tidal Surge, another quality of life change. It no longer is based off duration. You'll no longer go skewing off into a direction for all eternity. It is now directional. You can change its direction, and it groups up enemies quite nicely. And then for his third ability, completely new, they got rid of Undertow and they replaced it with Plunder. Now, Plunder is a little bit more nuanced. Just a short answer is you cast it, you give yourself armor, and increase your corrosive damage. And enemies take more corrosive damage the more corrosive damage you deal. So it caps out depending on how much strength you have, but at base 100 strength, you're looking at 230% increase, which is really, really nice. In my build, you'll kind of see how it fluctuates depending on your strength margins. So look forward to that. And then Tentacle Swarm is kind of the same with Tempest Barrage. It is no longer a hold cast. It's just automatically max range. It will grab enemies and no longer fling them around. It's going to be a lot easier to actually just shoot them. And it will deal corrosive damage as well. So for the build, I am actually subsuming off Tidal Surge in favor of Nourish due to the fact that because Hydroid is going to be reducing all the armor for all the enemies, it's actually quite nice to pair Viral to a no armor enemy and just increase your damage overall, especially when you combine it with Plunder and his passive, his first skill. Everything works super, super nice with Viral. Now, I am actually running Viral Tempest. Now, originally this mod was giving 100% corrosive before the rework. Now that the ability actually has inherent corrosive, they swapped it over to Viral. So you're double dipping here, and it is absolutely insane. Hydroid just absolutely clears entire rooms. He gives himself tons of armor and bonus damage, and then if you pair it with the new augment mod, Rousing Plunder, now this replaced the Undertow augment when they removed the ability. It says that it gains, your ability Plunder gains 50% increase to corrosive damage and armor And on top of that, it heals your allies. Really cool fact, it actually scales with strength. So you cap out around 616 with this build and 129 health for your allies within affinity range. And then the armor is 2310. Absolutely insane. This rework is among one of the best that Pablo has made. And right here, we're going to kind of see the gameplay. As far as like the arcanes, you can really run whatever you want. I have multi-efficiency just because all of these abilities are based off duration. So, the more duration, the better. I already have 258 strength. Again, it's totally up to you how much you want to run. And then as far as the efficiency being so low, again, that's being kind of nullified with Prime Flow as well as Nourish. And then Arcane Blessing is just kind of nice. When you're getting over 2300 armor and you pair it with Arcane Blessing, you're giving yourself a bunch additional EHP, which is effective hit points, which means every health point you have is going to have more armor on top of that, which makes it harder for you to die. I'm not a big shield gating guy, so I actually kind of like that arcane. And even though they replaced the shield gating setup, I'll make a video on it. But as far as kind of how Hydroid works right now, if you have, let's see, here we go. So it's at 1470. Again, he's not max rank, but if we pair this over here, we apply plunder. So as you can see, it has this little debuff above their head. So they're actually going to take a lot more corrosive damage, and then the more corrosive damage I deal to them, see how it strips their armor? So they have this corrosive debuff, and when I deal corrosive damage, it strips their armor. Now they're kind of dying before you can kind of see it, but if I applied my 1, you can see how it strips their armor when they take corrosive damage due to Plunder's ability. And as you can see, we've got viral and corrosive stacking up quite nicely. It's just tons and tons of damage. And this is just me not shooting my weapons at all. Now with Hydroid, you are going to want to run multiple corrosive weapons. That's his bread and butter. That's how you're going to make him work the most effective. But if you apply this and then this, and you can even cast it multiple times, I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. These guys are Steel Path. These guys are Steel Path. They have among some of the most armor in the game compared to most enemies. It's absolutely insane. I'm hardly trying. It's 2 abilities, and I'm wiping rooms. If I were to shoot, absolutely incredible. So as you can see there is a timer, but I am capped out at my max damage and my armor. Okay? Now, if I were to go in here and do it with them not paused and instead actually face them, how would I handle? There we go, and then we can go ahead and just watch them die. Absolutely incredible. Now, as far as weapons that you should run, that is going to come down to preference. Now, I like to use the Arcaplasmor because it has a very high inherent corrosive when you build for it. As its base electricity, it's very easy to actually build into corrosive. So if you can't, get a mod like a Riven mod or something, just work your way around it. Run, maybe heat as well on top of it, or another preference mod. Now it doesn't actually have a whole lot of crit, so running hunting munitions probably wouldn't be a good idea. You could even run vigilant armaments, which would give you more multi-shot. And the damage is, you know, pretty close. But again, this is going to come down to preference as far as what weapon you want to run. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I've got 2 other videos planned for today at minimum. I'm going to be reviewing Grendel Prime, a build review for that, as well as the new frame Dagath. And if I have time today, I'm going to also do some of the weapons that released today as well. Be sure to subscribe if you're not, and if you like this video, tell me about it in the comments. Tell me what you think about this rework. If you think there's maybe a better subsumability for Hydroid, or if you've got other ideas for build crafting, let me know. I want to read about it. But once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.